So my absolute top tip for researching law firms would be to first start with the firm's website. This is essentially how the firm describes themselves in their own words. But to go a step further, what I would do is I would use the Legal 500 and Chambers Guide. These are basically legal directories that will highlight the areas of expertise of your specific firm. And essentially it's going to demonstrate to you what they're good at and what they're proud of. So in your application, if you've used the firm's website, you're able to describe the firm in their own words, but at the same time, you're also able to demonstrate that you understand what they're good at and why that aligns to you.
Top tips for researching a firm. I'm being very honest. I would always start checking the firm on LawCareersNetLIVE first to see the salary information, whether they fund your LPC or not, or fund your SQE or not, amount of people they offer a training contract in a year, and the size of the firm and the areas of speciality. So that will be my standing point. And then after that, I would check their website and check their thought leadership pieces, because those stuff is not just marketing collateral, it also highlights what areas of importance is for that firm. So that would be like a really good starting point for me. And once I find something that really interested me, I would actually check the people behind the article. Who wrote the article? Who is that person? Is that a trainee solicitor? Is that a senior partner who's actually put effort into that piece? And then lastly, once I identify the person who was working in that specific area, I would actually find that person on LinkedIn, send them a message. It doesn't have to be a long message. Many of people on LinkedIn, many partners actually are happy to add aspiring solicitors so that they can share insights with them. So I would just add them and have their updates on my newsfeed, which also help me increase my awareness about the whole industry. So that would be my top tip for research.
So a piece of advice I would give to someone at Brabners is, as cringy as it sounds, is to be yourself. I've had many rejections from some really great firms, and I've realised that one of the things that was letting me down was that I wasn't being myself. I think it's important to showcase the real you and what you as an individual can bring to the table. So I say to people all the time, if you've got a passion, if you've got a hobby, talk about it. We want to hear. So for example, I do rowing in my spare time, and I would talk a lot about how it's helped me to develop my teamwork skills, my leadership skills, communication. So I always say to people, think about what you as an individual can bring to the table, be it hobbies, experience, both legal, non-legal, and then think, what skills have I developed from that and how can I apply it to a training contract? So I would say being yourself is a really key part, because at the end of the day, we're going to work with you. We want to get to know you on a friendly level as well as a professional level. So if we can't see the real you, we don't know what we're going to be getting.
I think for me it was just doing something a little bit different. I think at Squire Patton Boggs they really value a diversity of experience. So a lot of the trainees are non-law graduates. I had a few years experience working in-house in legal teams. I think the firm really value that, and I think a lot of firms really value a diversity of experience because it leads to diversity of thought. So I'd say whatever it is that differentiates you, for me it was the in-house sort of commercial experience. Really try and point to that in your application forms.
I think it's really cringy, and when people used to tell me this, I'd kind of like internally roll my eyes. But I think being yourself throughout the whole application process is the most important thing, because the right firm is out there for you, and if you are presenting yourself in a way that isn't authentic to what you actually are like, you won't find the right firm and the firm won't find you. So I think being yourself, showing your true colours and being recruited for those reasons is the best way to approach the application process, rather than to present what you think the firm wants to see, because they'll see right through that.
At the vacation schemes, I think it's really important to sort of get your personality across. It's the first time we probably meet you in person. So that would be my top tip. Don't pretend to be someone that you're not. We can see right through that. But yeah, personality I think is the most important thing.
When I'm reading through application forms, the things that really stand out to me from candidates is those that have some fantastic transferable skills. So we're not necessarily looking for you to have legal work experience, whether you've done a part-time job, whether you've volunteered, whatever that might be. We really want to see that you've put yourself out there and have some transferable skills. I think as well, something that makes a candidate stand out is that their answer for why are you applying to this firm is really well tailored, really well thought through, and kind of applies to the values and the things that are important to them, and they're relating that back to the firm.
So my top tip for researching firms is, as a starting point, perhaps use a resource like LawCareersNetLIVE and try and narrow down the types of firms that you want to apply for. Don't apply for too many firms. I'd say a maximum of about 5 applications. I think any more and people will be too stretched. So have a think about the type of clients that you want to work with, the type of work that you want to do, maybe about the size of the trainee intake that you're interested in, secondment opportunities as well. Have a think about those types of things, narrow down your firms, and then from there, look at those law firms' websites and have a look about the news that they're putting out there. So what matters are they working on? What is the big news for that particular firm? Are there any mergers going on? Are they opening new offices around the world? Those are the types of things that you can talk about in an application to help support why you're applying there. And also look at events. Firms are now offering a lot more virtual events than they did pre-COVID. And I think that provides a great opportunity for students because you don't necessarily have to be at a certain place at a certain time. You can easily log on, even if you're on the bus or whatever, between lectures. It's just more convenient, and why not? It can provide you with a lot of information about why you might want to apply to a certain firm and hints and tips for their application process.